Zeus rides into the flames, there's a moment where he's like, I'll be right back. And you see him riding, and it honestly felt like a stunt double at that particular moment. Like something changed about the nature of his body or the nature of his mask and the riding. And I'm like, or maybe I just hadn't seen an ape ride real quickly on a horse. Like, well, no, I guess I did chasing in the field. It did not look like Zeus anymore when that.
Well, it looks like that the actor was stumbling forward a bit on the saddle, and it was just
it was kind of herky jerky.
It was really had that feeling of, okay, we're going to do this in one take. Go. Okay, it is what it is.
Got it.
Was the gate clear? The gate's clear. Let's move on.
Did anyone notice when so Zeus rides into the thing, and we get kind of a very clean shot of the lawgiver with all the blood on it, and then the lawgiver begins to fall, and so Zeus kind of puts his
flinching
arm up.
when he knows it's an illusion, but he's still flinching from it.
Yeah, so he puts his arm up. And there's a brief moment before the explosion comes up and it's a very split second. I have no idea if it's an editing choice or an editing thing where the screen kind of goes white for just like half a second.
No, it sounds like a white burst.
I can't bring it back, but because I just watched it again because I noticed it. It's like it was like there was nothing there for a second, just for half a second, right before the explosion hit.
So that's a typical thing, and I know from having been a former TV editor that you'll put in white bursts when you don't have an actual cut that you can make.
Yeah.
It's that's a stylistic choice, but you don't have anything to actually cover it, so you put that in to be like boom.
Like today in YouTube videos where people just cut and cut and cut and don't hide the cuts, that's to hide the cut, that burst of white. We would either do that or dip to black.
That's right.
One or the other.
So as a backstory, Sean and I, that's how we met, was producing, editing, and that was the kind of stuff you did. And you're right, YouTube has changed that kind of thing.
You would never do stuff like that back in the 90s where just cut on the same person without hiding those cuts.
And especially when they would zoom in on a shot, the same shot, but they would digitally zoom in on it and cut to it. So I would suppose that's what it was, is they didn't have anything to cover it, so they put a white burst in there.
The description in the script is, which is why I was looking for this, the description in the script is the effigy as it slowly topples into camera, blanking screen as the effigy hits the ground, then explodes. Now, so...
Maybe you were supposed to fall into the camera.
Right, the camera was supposed to come into the camera, and you were supposed to kind of like get overwhelmed by the shot of the effigy of the lawgiver, but... that didn't quite happen the way it read in the script, but I'm kind of watching for that. And that's when I noticed that, oh, wait, it just goes white for like, it's very minute, but you can just catch it if you're watching. And you're back to the explosion.
5 frames or something.
I was about to say, you usually do that for about 10 frames, so I'll go home and watch it tonight. I didn't notice that when I was going through it, but I wouldn't doubt it that they would use a white burst to cover this.
I like when the illusion's finally gone. Ursus is just the most shocked monkey you've ever seen. Oh, he's close to he's close to the force shocked monkey. Oh,
so again, there's a betrayal of character. Ursus should not be shocked by this. He should be enraged,
emboldened. By
and Richard's showing me right now the shot, and it really is. He kind of has like, it's it's almost like it's a Scooby-Doo moment of It doesn't fit with who he should be. He should be like, no, this is not. He should be the one that's saying this cannot be real. He has not believed in this type of thing. He's ignored all of it.
Where are his men?
I mean,
his 12 men or 11 men.
It's a very the lawgiver falls. The flame explodes onto screen. It overwhelms the screen. You get a very brief scene again of like random 4 monkeys reacting to nothing. We have no idea what they're. This could have been cut from any moment. And then you've got that crazy scene with like the horse like
going nuts
and riding off to the screen. And then everything disappears. And then it's a shot of Ursus and his mouth is just agape. Mm-hmm. And it's probably one of the biggest emotions I've seen him try to convey with that mask, with his mouth open.
I wanted to know, are the horses going crazy because the horses are seeing the illusion, or they're going crazy because the apes are going crazy and they're reacting to that?
That's a good question.
Because if the horses are going crazy because of the illusion, all the telepath needs to do is make the horses always see the illusions and they'll never cross point X. And that means the apes have to carry the cannons and everything on their own, and the horses won't pass that. Like, they start dropping over from a heart attack or stuff like that.
I thought that the apes were seeing the illusion. The horses were seeing the illusion. That's what I guessed.
Well, then make it more terrifying for the horses.
Well, what I also thought was, if you can do all this, I mean,
how did Zeus get his horse to ride into the flames if they're seeing it?
So if you can make horses see this, why can't you also make a gorilla look down and their arms are on fire and they're suddenly burning these people close to it? That's how you.
Wow.
And then you just see,
and how easy is that? You simply put some shit, and they're like, "Oh my god, I'm burning!" And they're all going nuts.
And then you cut to them rolling around with no flames on them, and they're like beating each other out, and it looks like almost like they're attacking each other.
And now they don't even know what to expect because wait, you were just on fire, but now there's nothing. Now you've really engaged these people to where they don't know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
So the note for where is it? The note for Ursus is that after the explosion happens, the note for Ursus is his jealousy of Zeus's act is evident.
Whoa, what? His jealousy
of Zeus's act is
because he rode into the flames
evident.
Instead of him
instead of Ursus being.
I like that.
But you wouldn't.
You wouldn't have got that from the movie.
No,
and you couldn't. I don't think you can convey that through the mask. You'd almost have to have dialogue. You'd have to have something there to kind of put that through. You couldn't do it through just the mask that he has.
I mean, you might have been able if you'd somehow set up a situation before about not being reactionary, and he might have said something to Zeus, and Zeus ripped his arm away and went, and he could just cower his head a little bit. You could do something like that, but it would take a lot of work to make that work.
I mean, there's a little bit of stuff happening with Ursus that I can't quite read into with his reaction to various things, but that would have been interesting to see.
But then again, who cares about his reaction? Because he has the best fracking hat in this whole damn movie. I thought that time and time again is like, I want that hat.
To wear that around the house. You get out of the shower, just pop it on, walking around with a towel around your waist. Hey, what's going on?
I think I told you this. That
only good human's dead human. What's up?
So they recently, Movies by Minute recently had a convention where all the people got together and did podcasts. And I said, well, I'm going to try and keep an eye on it because I didn't see it until too late for us to go. But if we can go next year, I found a company that's making great Planet of the Apes masks, including an Ursus. I say we have to buy those, and that's how we do the podcast. And you can actually, it's like reusable, so you can glue it to your lips and actually make it work.
We'll just put a bad wig on me and a loincloth, and I'll go with Charlton Heston.
You wore a loincloth in an episode of The Variants.
Yes, I know. I'm used to it already.
I have dibs on Zira. I want to cross dress into Zira.
That is your choice,
because I am going to have me a fetish for some humans.
So after the explosion happens, and we zoom in on Zeus with his mouth agape, the audience got to listen to it, but it goes silent.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is gone. The flames are gone. The reaction is gone.
Which is a cool choice.
Like, there's no music.
Right.
It is just quiet. And then we kind of move in on Zeus just a little bit, and I was kind of a little bothered by the fact that the shot was blurry, and it's probably because the sun is coming behind him. But it was distracting in this minute and the minute ahead when Zeus is just seemingly slightly out of focus, and I can't quite figure out why that is.
What we had earlier with the telepaths on the stairway when they were zooming in on the main one that you could see they were doing an optical push in onto the film, and it was slightly out of focus and stuff like that.
And I found the choice that either Maurice Evans or Maurice with Ted Post made on his reaction to be odd. He almost looked sad in his reactions as opposed to alarmed.
He did. He looked around like, what just?
I don't get to
what
shoot
just
any
happened.
apes?
Right. As much as I like seeing Zeus back the way I think Zeus should be, it's an odd choice to have him react both going into the flames as well as what he does out when the flames go out.
We do get a shot of the army kind of realizing that nothing is going on, like a big group shot about 5 seconds before the minute ends, and they're all just kind of like looking at the fact that there's nothing there.
I'm wondering because
you're trying to count the number of apes.
I'm trying to count the number of bad masks I can see right here in that one shot.
It's a terrible shot.
It's going to be about like 15 bad masks. Real quick, you could put somebody forward in that scene
mix it up
with a hero mask so that my eye goes to them, so I don't look at that.
Considering how many extras they use,
their mama monkeys love them.
You're always worried about their feelings, Richard, and I love you for that.
Their mama monkeys love them.
Okay, Sean,
the amount of extras
we love
that
you too.
They used in previous shots of them marching in there, you would think they would able to use more to make the army look even bigger there.
There are so many missed opportunities of what they could have done, and I do have this note for later minutes, but I'm going to say it now, having seen that shot. I in no ways do I say I am an expert on lensing, but I know enough about lenses to know that you can use lenses that would throw that shit out of focus if you put something
deeper. Yeah.
I don't understand that, and that lens. If you're getting a lens like that, you're shooting daylight. That is not going to make it any harder to shoot in daylight. Why didn't they throw that stuff out of focus?
You only need like
20 shots to do today.
Come on, one or two good masks front,
right?
Responding to something, and everything else just kind of being in the background. We do have this wonderful, oh my goodness, look at this. We do have this wonderful shot at the very end of the minute of Ursus reacting to Zeus's befuddlement. Mm-hmm. And it's just, I mean, they did in these scenes do some nice tights.
Agreed.
On Ursus.
Yes.
The makeup is there, the mask is there, his reactions are there. Honestly, these moments right here with the tights started really make me fall in love with this character, only because of just I felt like he was finally human.
No, I think Ursus shows some frailty in this moment. He really does, almost like, oh shit, what have I got myself into? And I have no problem with him being that way. I think you're absolutely right that there are some close-up shots that are just magnificently chosen. It's just that I'm having such a hard time getting past the shitty shot that comes right before it that I almost missed the great shot.
Shitty shot.
All right. I don't want to beat that minute up anymore. We're about 25, 26 minutes in, so I'm going to call minute 72. I'm going to put that one in the books. Are we fair with that?
Done.
So let's say this. Let's thank the Star Wars Minute, guys. You hear me say it all the time. Go out, check them out. Listen, probably my favorite film series of all time, if you exclude the prequels. But they do a fantastic job. They took this idea to a daily
They're
idea.
done with the prequels, so you can jump back
Are
in.
they?
Yeah, whenever they come back, they should be going on to episode, I guess, 7.
I like to be a completist, but I got to the point where I was like, I can't take it anymore. I can't listen to it anymore. I got to quit. So I'll jump back. When they get into the new films, I'll listen to those. Anyway, that is it for Minute of the Apes today. We will be back tomorrow with Minute 73. Until then, I'm Todd for Richard and Sean. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Beneath the Minute of the Apes. Beneath the Minute of the Apes. Beneath the Minute of the Apes.
The only good human is a dead human.